Hey guys, sorry I dropped off for a little bit. I've literally moved to Spain for the next few months, so kind of explains why I haven't really had time to film. But I'm hoping today's video is going to make up for it because we're going to talk about BRAT Summer and how brands are once again determined to take something that brings genuine joy to people and boil it down to nothing more than a buying moment. So if you haven't watched one of my videos before, hi, I'm Katie. I talk about sustainable fashion topics and industry news. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to like this video and subscribe. But anyway, let's get into it because I feel like this video is almost a part 2 to one I did a little while ago, which was more of a PSA around Beyonce Summer and how brands were most likely going to try capitalize and sell you cowboy hats and cowboy boots. And in that video, I spoke about how it feels that in today's age of social media and fast fashion, it's not enough to just watch or listen to something now. Like you can't just watch a TV show or stream your favorite artist's new album. Big fashion has convinced us that we need to conflate our media interests with our wardrobes in order to be a true fan. Capitalism is doing the most to convince us that the best way to show our love for something is through our fashion. And like I said in that first video, there's a lot of examples of this, most noticeably Barbie Summer last year. Charli XCX's BRAT Summer is definitely more of a concept, and I want to explore how brands are going to try market that concept for all it's worth and how it's going to be different. We're seeing in real time the internet becoming obsessed with something, like genuinely obsessed, and like a genuine, honest obsession, not a marketing gimmick. People love the music and they want to embody that feeling it gives through their wardrobes. And what we're also seeing in real time is brands rushing to market it and capitalize on it in any way they can. The reason I want to talk about BRAT Summer specifically is because of how quickly brands are trying to rush this. It feels like brands are increasingly desperate to get on trends, probably because of the massive success Barbie Summer had. And I think they just want to recreate that any way they can. I mean, no one really believed that Barbie Summer would be as big as it was. And by the time brands had started cottoning on to the fact that people were genuinely interested in Barbie Summer, it was almost over. So now maybe what they're trying to do is catch something as soon as it starts hitting the zeitgeist and really just ride the peak of the wave. And that's pretty dangerous. Maybe let's introduce what is BRAT Girl Summer for those of you who haven't heard the album and who maybe haven't been as entrenched in the online discourse as I have. Thankfully, I found some really cohesive guides online of people trying to explain to others what BRAT Girl Summer is. A lot of grunge, a lot of this really bright green that people have a lot of different names for, like vomit green or like puke green. Obviously, you have iced coffee, you have sunglasses, you have tank tops. It's also the antithesis of a few trends we've seen recently, which is where I think we're going to get into a bit of an issue when it comes to people throwing out items they've already bought because it doesn't fit their mood for the summer. I think there's kind of two issues that I want to bring up with this kind of discourse when it comes to media and trends online. One is that a lot of this hinges on you buying stuff. Once again, it feels like we're being sold personalities. Some of these guys in particular are full of just like things you need to have to embody the spirit of Brat Girl, like a camera, like buying an iced coffee, like eyeliner, like a tank top and jorts and boots and stuff.
Capitalism really popped off today.
It's very like, this is what you need to have to buy into this trend, otherwise you're not going to embody it. The other thing is that it feels very like one-dimensional. It's like, okay, this is who we're going to be this summer, and that just feels really disingenuous. Like the whole idea of cause and aesthetics is really having a negative impact on how typically younger audiences see themselves, see their personality, see their personal style. Because they're constantly going from trend to trend, core to core, you're not sitting there and thinking, what do I actually like? Instead, you're being told who you're going to be this summer if you want to be cool. But anyway, personal feelings aside of like core and aesthetics, the issue with all of this is that this was a genuine cultural moment. People were genuinely loving BRAT Summer online. They heard the album and they were making genuine content of what this means to them. and brands have already started to spoil it. Business of Fashion have already put out an article saying, can fashion sell Brat Summer? They've called Brat the theme of the summer and said that it's almost the antithesis of what we've been seeing from brands recently about quiet luxury and clean girl, which means a complete 180 for some brands that will definitely try to capitalize on this trend. And if brands take it too literally, this could have catastrophic events down the supply chain if they say choose to cancel some of the inventory they ordered before all of this that fits more into the clean girl or quiet luxury aesthetics because they choose to capitalize on Brat Girl Summer instead. I can imagine some brands are scrambling right now and have definitely considered it. The Brat Girl aesthetic is kind of hard to pin down. It's kind of less about specific pieces and more about the feeling of the pieces or like the versatility of them. And what I think brands are specifically going to ignore is the fact that the singer Charli XCX said that to embody this spirit, you don't actually need much and you probably already own it. In an interview with the BBC, she said that all you need is a strappy tank top, a Bic lighter, and a packet of cigarettes to be a brat girl. And a lot of people have agreed that although this slimy green color, whatever you're going to call it, is a very visual link to Brat Girl, it's not necessarily going to be the color of the summer. You don't need to be wearing bright green clothes to embody Brat Girl. But you can bet that most brands are going to take this very easy link and capitalize it for all it's worth. I've already seen a sponsored influencer post about Brat Girl Summer with a specific brand and the items they sell that you can embody, even though the Brat Girl aesthetic does not call for specific things. I've also seen a couple of brands that I wouldn't have expected to jump on Brat Girl Summer already jumping on Brat Girl Summer, like Kate Spade. Because like I said, the trend only just started taking off, brands will not have been able to put out anything specific yet to Brat Girl Summer. The timeline just probably wouldn't work. But I've seen Zara change their homepage to Brat Girl Green in an attempt to conflate their brand with something everyone's loving right now. I've seen Shein do shopping guides that feel very, very grungy and Brat Girl Summer to me, even though they're not specifically using the words. I also saw a whole post just dedicated to green items, and I wonder why. I think in less than a month or two, we're going to see brands pushing Brat coded collections everywhere. Already when I type Brat into Shein, it comes up with a lot of graphic tees, which wasn't the case a few days ago when I started researching this video. Although even they haven't been able to market designs quick enough, I feel like what they've done is put together a few items that could be considered Brat Girl coded and made sure they're hitting the search results first. Since Shein and Temu have the quickest production models, they are going to be the ones probably to meet this trend first. For brands that have slower production cycles like Zara and H&M, we may have to wait, but I can bet that we're going to be seeing them pivot away from the very soft feminine summers they seem to have gone for initially, and very much heavily marketing their grungier looks, whether they put out completely new styles or whether they buy more into the items that they'd already ordered that look Brat Girl coded. What I think will really be interesting is whether luxury fashion buys into these items too. I think that's been one of the things that has been changing in very, very recent years, is that obviously fast fashion was built off trends. They know that they need to go after trends for their production cycle. But luxury fashion, which paints itself as inherently sustainable, as laughable as that is, normally doesn't get as involved with trend cycles. But recently, that hasn't been the case. I mean, I saw that Miu Miu cowboy hat for Beyonce Summer, and that kind of triggered my whole video last time. Okay, speaking of Miu Miu, I literally filmed this video, searched Brat Girl Summer on TikTok, and yeah, they've sponsored a TikTok of these creators wearing Miu Miu, having a Brat Girl Summer. You heard it here first. Miu Miu is becoming nothing more than a luxury fast fashion brand. They're just jumping on any trend they can find. And I think it's becoming more and more apparent that luxury fashion is getting involved in the trend cycle, and how this kind of proves to me the point I made a couple of videos ago about the fashion industry just being kind of broken and not knowing what they're doing. Luxury fashion's perception that they've built of sustainability is based on the fact that they make a lot of timeless clothing that doesn't conform to trends. The fact they're now trying to jump on a lot of trends speaks to the fact that maybe they're desperate and maybe they're just confused about where they're going and what customers want. Brat Girl Summer to me feels anti-capitalist. It feels very like make do with what you have, wear your clothes to the point where they're falling apart, like don't care about stains, don't care about rips. Like, it feels very sustainability coded. And for one, I hate the idea that brands are going to try capitalize on this and take away from that whole aspect. But also, it feels like on TikTok, this message might not carry through, if you know what I mean. Like, people want to just buy into a trend and make it easy and say like, oh, okay, if I buy this white tank top from Zara and I buy these jean shorts and I buy a pair of boots, then I am a brat girl. And you know, to do that, I just have to, you know, add some things to cart. It feels like we've gotten to the point as a society where we can't decouple our interests from purchasing. And that feels really dangerous, and it feels really disingenuous. And I know it's not people's fault. It's just the way brands have brainwashed us, and TikTok has brainwashed us. The response I got to that video I did about how fashion is collapsing proves that a lot of people feel that way. They feel really dissatisfied with fashion right now, and they want things to change. I feel like I've gone off on a tangent, but I guess my main sentiment for this video is Brat Girl Summer is not something you have to buy into. It's something that you probably already own. If you don't own it, thrifting it is very much more Brat Girl Summer than buying it outright. Once again, I've lost like all of my points, but if you've watched my rambling this far, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I will speak to you really soon. Have a lovely week. Bye.